Osama Nazzal is a journalist who works and lives in the occupied West Bank, and you join us now from Jenin now. Osama, as someone who lives in the occupied West Bank, how are Palestinians going to be affected in their everyday lives by this decision? Because this is the latest in a series of similar moves by the Israeli government.
Yeah, really, the Palestinian citizens of the occupied West Bank now know more than ever before that Israel is not interested in any form of peace or any form of peaceful solution for the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, as it leaves the Palestinians here with no opportunity for life. Israel has been nibbling the Palestinian land of the occupied West Bank for years, and now it is formalizing this colonial policy, declaring openly to the Palestinians and to the world that Oslo Accord is dead, that two-state solution is dead, and the Palestinians should not dream of their land and their statehood.
And you call it their land. I mean, have you personally been affected, or you must know people who have either been affected, lost their lands, or fear losing their lands?
Yeah, the Israeli policy of confiscating Palestinian land, the Israeli policy of building settlements, and the Israeli policy of unleashing the Israeli settlers' violence affects every single Palestinian citizen in the occupied West Bank and Jerusalem, because there is no freedom of movement for the Palestinians in the West Bank. And while moving from one town to another, they don't know when the Israeli settlers are going to attack, kill, or injure them, when the Israeli forces are going to arrest them if they try to defend themselves against the Israeli settlers. The Palestinian farmers in particular know well that their farms are in danger of confiscation anytime, especially Israel now is legitimizing the policy of land confiscation by considering a large percentage of the land of the West Bank as state land, which means that the Palestinian citizens have no right to their property, to their ownership of their land, and only those who have this right are the Jewish settlers who are coming from the United States, from Europe, and other parts of the world, and replace the indigenous citizens of the land by taking over their land and their homes.
Yes, and then those Palestinians would then have to leave. So among Palestinians in the occupied West Bank, what is the feeling about why Israel is doing this? Is there a real fear that Israel is pushing Palestinians off what they consider to be their land deliberately?
Yeah, the Israeli occupation goal is very clear to every Palestinian, and this is nothing new because that is the principle on which Israel was established, to replace the indigenous people with foreign settlers, with foreign colonists. How can this replacement process be achieved? By uprooting the indigenous people of their land and allowing the colonists, the Jewish colonists, to settle in their place. Israel in the last 2 years killed over 1,000 Palestinian citizens of the West Bank only, injured more than 10,000 others, and imprisoned about 11,000. So Israel is using all these policies, killing, detention, harassment, and land theft in order to achieve its ultimate goal, which is to empty the land of its citizens. And we need to remember the importance of the history of this conflict, that when Israel was established, the Israeli leaders at that time said that we are going to a land without a people for a people without a land, which means that they want to empty the land of its indigenous people and bring the foreign people to settle them here. Israel is realizing, is achieving these policies and these principles nowadays.
OK, Osama Nazzal, who lives and works as a journalist in the occupied West Bank. We really appreciate your time and your analysis on this. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.